Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living."
I want for that one person to go about their day a whole different version of them.
Yeah, like
themselves. Like they're going to come into life like, I'm gonna tear it up. No, we're tearing it up.
Your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. Don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines through this form. Risk being seen in all of your glory.
Find yourself and everything comes to you.
Nice.
You will literally attract everything that you deserve once you do it yourself.
Yep.
You want to be in the driver's seat of your own life, because if you're not, life will drive you.
Failure is good. And we look at it so negatively.
Hey, so let's change the script. No, seriously, let's change the script.
What's good, everybody, and welcome into The Closed Mind, where we venture off into topics that will free the mind.
We are your hosts, Riss and Eladia, and we will be your guides through this journey of life. So, Riss, we are down to 2 episodes.
No.
2 more episodes. Yeah, we got 2 more episodes.
No, this is the last one.
Trust your struggle.
Okay, so
Feck, we are blank on this one. No, we have 2 episodes. Trust your struggle and self-care is not a luxury. So these are 2 amazing topics that I'm excited to talk about, because trust your struggle is probably going to be a very emotional subject for me, because first of all, I named it Trust Your Struggle because I have
got
a tattoo
of it.
that says, no, that's not the one. It says Trust Your Struggle. I got this in a really, it was like a transition from a really bad time in my life. Like when I was in high school, you know, just dropped out, and I'm just like, yo, I'm in a bad spot, but you know, I'm going to keep going type thing. So that's when I actually went back to school and everything. Trust Your Struggle was just a little bit of like, remember where you came from and where you're going to go. So it's like, trust the process at the same time.
Okay, so I'm thrown the fuck off. I thought we were...
It's all good. That's why we got each other, to keep each other on our toes.
Yeah, but this is like actually very relevant to my life right now.
I don't know if you want to speak on anything, Riss, but just know that we're here. Again, trusting your process. And I'm going to say it because I'm just going to say it. You know, things don't always work out the way that we want them to. And I mean that as in, there are jabs that are thrown at us out of nowhere, and some we dodge and some we don't. And some throw us off track, and some, you know, we're like, we build that resilience, right? So the biggest thing for me is learning how to deal with those jabs, right? And trusting yourself and not dwelling on it. So this is something, again, that I'm working on myself, is not getting too
caught up in
it and being so hard on myself. Like things like this come into everybody's life. It's not just mine. So stop being so damn like
sensitive
sensitive or self involved.
At the same time, allow yourself to.
Yeah, you're right. Allow yourself to feel,
but don't extend the. Like, don't dwell on it for too long.
Right.
It's pretty much what I'm trying to say.
Ooh. Sorry. Didn't mean to. I read this. I read this book, which definitely you should check it out. It's called The Guide of Self-Sabotage or something like that. Ooh. So it's a really good book because it tells you like about dwelling, and to put on a timer and to give yourself like 30 minutes to dwell. I don't even think it was 30 minutes. It might have been 5 minutes, but give yourself 5 minutes to dwell on what's happening.
My mentor used to say that to me all the time. She's like, you are allowed to feel those feelings, but don't let it be more than a day,
Right.
because that's how you sabotage the things that are supposed to be happening for you, because you're too busy living in that past moment and not allowing yourself to grow from it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so something my grandma always tells me is, like, we want to live a life that we want to live, but it's not really our... Do you get what I'm saying? Yes. Like, it's not really our choice. Okay, again, this goes into religion. Like, we're supposed to be living a life that God wants us to live. Ooh. And we're so caught up in trying to live this life and wonder
planned
why.
Life.
Yeah. And wondering why so many things are going wrong and nothing is going the way we want it to, because it's not supposed to go the way we want it to. Like, our life is really not our life. If you really think about it,
right.
You know, we're pretty much renting these bodies out, renting these like souls out.
Wow. I love that.
So when you said that, my grandma said that to me not too long ago. Actually, I think it was like 2 days ago. She was like, Marissa, she was like, I know that you're trying to live out this life that you want to live out. She said, but maybe it's time for you to press pause and say, okay, what does God want me to do with my life? Like, maybe this is why all of these terrible events are happening after, like, one after another. Maybe that's why you're going through that, because he's trying to get your attention and be like, hey, can you look this way?
Oh, wow.
Real quick. You know what I mean? So again, if you're not religious, but I mean, I don't know. I believe in that stuff, and I
do too.
I have been doing a lot of self-work. Yes. I kind of disappeared off social media for a little bit. Like, I'm just like, I am not okay.
Right.
I'm not okay.
Which is amazing. And I do applaud you for getting out of your limelight. Is that what it's called, a limelight? But it's just like, first of all, Riz, I feel like social media is kind of your job.
It is.
And it's hard. And it's hard. And I know. And I've noticed that, you know, I guess I've had a good relationship with you for about 4 years now.
Yeah.
And I think that personally, I feel like you've grown and blossomed because you are finding out what is too much for you and when to step back. So I applaud you on that. But you need to test yourself more.
Yeah.
Like, trust yourself more. Like, trust your struggle and trust your intuition.
Okay, so I think I'm going through my spiritual awakening. I really, really do. Like, I keep seeing like angel numbers. I'm able to call myself out. I have literally sat down and prayed on, like, reveal to me what it is about myself. Like, I feel like leaving Raphael was probably literally what I needed to have this all happen. Like, I've been seeing a lot of like TikToks where it's like, you can still be in a relationship with somebody and find yourself. And in a sense, I believe that, because I do believe that being with somebody reveals to you all of the things that are wrong with you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they're just a reflection of you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So everything that you go through, like, I believe they pull that out of you, but it takes a person who's actually like woke.
Yeah.
To
and mentally prepared
to confront what the fuck it is that you're sorry.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
No, this is an intense subject. Like I said, the mind. It's scary knowing who you really are.
Yes.
Because you can go your life as unconscious for a long time. Yeah. And then when you
finally wake up to it, you're like, damn, I
am really fucking crazy.
No, literally. And that's how I have literally sat down and been like, I am a fucked up person.
I've been there and I'm like, I am toxic.
Yes.
I was toxic. That was not my greatest moment. But again, those are things that you
have to go through
and have to learn to be conscious of what you're putting out. So say you're talking to your partner a crazy way, you go back and sit with your feelings and be like, yo, I did not handle that the way I should have.
Yes.
Then the next time you go into that conversation or in that intense moment, you know how to come into it.
Exactly.
And you know, listen, today I'm not about to be that person. I'm not about to keep coming.
You're not going to respond. Like, you're not going to react. You're going to respond in a... do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not
you know what? My somebody posted, and God, I know I should not be... I love Instagram. I love the posts that come out of the pages that I follow. Some are not... some are a little like, okay, all right, that was a little bit too much. But one was like, I am no longer going to sit in a room with people that are going to take me out of my character. I want to be grounded. I want to laugh. I want to love. There should be nobody in your life that even takes you out of your character. But you got to teach yourself to stay... To be true to yourself or the person that you want to be,
and be strong enough to keep that composure and
not self-awareness, not self-discipline. What is that? So self-control, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense.
It is.
Because it's all part of like learning how to deal with the struggles, like learning how to cope with all the shit that you don't like. It's not easy. Life is not easy, but it's really not easy when you're doing all this shit unaware.
Yeah.
And you're like not conscious of all of like that you're the problem.
Right.
Like it's not everyone else. Like, and you have to be open to learning yourself.
Right. Okay, so we kind of wanted to go into a situation. Well, I wanted to go into a situation that was talking about obviously trusting your struggle. But I just got into my first college classes.
Yay!
It was just a random thing. I'm just like, you know what? If I'm not working, I need to go to school. So I go and I'm trying to figure out, obviously I know what I want to do. I want to be my own boss, right? Mm-hmm. And in anything, and I'm not trying to speak this into the universe, but if videography and the business in my videography side doesn't work out, it was so funny because this girl that was in one of my classes, she said, I want to get this entrepreneur certificate so I'll be able to pass this legacy onto the next generation. Mm-hmm. So I was like, girl, first of all, I didn't even think of that. I'm thinking of myself. I'm not thinking about what I'm about to learn right now can be adapted and being passed out. Oh, I was all like, what in the hell? I'm hearing myself right now. So being passed down, right? So when I got into school, I went and got, you have to go through this express enrollment, all right? So you got to talk to somebody about what you're trying to do, what you have been doing, which I have been doing. Obviously, my videography, I've been working for myself for 2 years. And he was just like, well, it looks like your financial aid has been suspended. And I'm just like, why? And they're like, because you dropped classes in 2013. So I'm like thinking back, obviously I did go to school in 2013. I was doing very well. I found out I was pregnant, got scared, dropped out of my classes.
Oh my God.
They took away my financial aid. So I start bawling. And he was like, are you okay? And I go, you know what? No, because I'm very mad at the person that I was.
Oh.
And he was like, would you go back? And I said, yes. And he goes, so if you went back, you wouldn't have your children. You wouldn't have that motivation to go back to school. You wouldn't have the mentality of finishing school. So I think that's a huge thing for me was to...
Ooh, that's a perfect
example. Because it made me go back, Marissa. Like, first of all, I had to make an appeal. Why did I drop out? So I'm like, because I was pregnant. But they're like, no.
Like, you got to go in debt.
Yes.
Like, what was it? Like, you had to bring up all those feelings that you were feeling whenever
Girl.
you dropped out.
And I don't want to go back to that person. I don't want to go back to the mistakes that I did make. So I write my therapist, my old therapist that I went to 2013, August of 2013. And I just left her a message because she didn't, answer. And I said, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but you saw me when I was pregnant. My girls are now 7 years old. I am a mother of 4 now. I'm doing very well. I'm trying to go back to school. I don't know if you can write me a letter for my appeal. She calls me back and she was like, hey, Hillary, I remember you. I hope everything is well. And I was just telling her how everything is going great. So she ends up sending me this letter.
I got goosebumps.
Girl, just wait. She ends up sending me this letter talking about how messed up I really was in 2013. And, at the end of that letter, to whom it may concern, she says, I don't think that I, as a professional, do not believe that Hillary, at the mental state that she was at, she wasn't able to complete any academic program.
Damn.
And I'm just all like, yo, like I was damaged and I didn't think I was. And a professional was just like, girl, you was crazy. But it was just like, I did have to trust the process and I am here now. But again, going back to yourself, you have to own it.
Yes.
You have to own your story.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad.
Even and that's like I feel like that's like one of the hardest things for everyone to do is accepting the fucked up shit you do. You gotta, truly though, you can't just be like, oh, well, I did it.
Right.
You have to be able to be like, I did that. Now I know.
Yep.
I don't know how to explain it. But oh my gosh. That's honestly, I have chills. That is amazing though. Because you can own it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it took me a minute. And my mom, my mom I love her to death, but I see my situation differently than she sees mine. And there's a lot of things that she needs to own up to too,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it wasn't just me being crazy, or it wasn't the situation. It wasn't the way you want to look at the situation just because you were the outside,
You know what's so crazy is that is me and my mom. My mom right now does not understand this growth stage that I'm going through at all. She does not understand. She literally is like, okay, Marissa, makes me feel like I'm almost being crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not crazy. I was like, you have a lot of shit that you need to deal with. And that's why you don't understand what I'm going through.
Or that's why you won't grow.
Yeah.
Because you don't believe that there's anything better than where you're at right now.
Yeah. Well, and that's not even necessarily the thing. I don't think that she thinks that. I just think that she is genuinely scared of having to bring whatever it is that she went through up, and have to confront it and have to accept it and have to grow from it. I just feel like there is something deeper that none of us understand, because my mom, she needs to get it. She needs to get it together. She doesn't understand what I'm going through. Don't get me wrong. My mom's my biggest supporter. My mom got to my back through everything, through my separation, through everything. My mom was my writer when everybody was giving me shit.
Right.
But in the same breath, my mom is also my biggest
critic.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I get that. But also she's your mom.
Yeah. Yuck.
Yuck.
Yeah.
So let's read off to this quote. There is nothing that can happen to you that can't also happen for you if you let it. So again, like he's saying, don't go back, because you might have thought that decision of you dropping out was not good enough, but
okay,
would you rather be overwhelmed as hell in school and really fail out of your classes and then not even have went through that therapy
No, seriously.
Like if I wouldn't have went to
shout
that
out-
therapy and
shout
learned.
out to you for even going to therapy.
Yeah.
I've never been to therapy.
Really? Oh.
I have never.
She's the one who told me how to write.
Really?
She gave me my homework and she was all like, she told me to get all the different colored gel pens and to start writing how I was feeling and write a note to the girl's dad and
Damn.
like tell him how I felt, like
Damn.
what he's done to me mentally, what he's, all of it.
Just
So, yeah.
confronting
Yep. Mhm.
everything. Wow, that's beautiful. Like,
That I have a choice to give it to him, like I can mail it to him or just keep it.
wow.
Yeah. I don't know where that letter is though.
You said
But you
I
said
know
you
it
had
is.
something on this. Let me
No,
know.
how I perceived that was wait, re-say it. Because
Okay.
when you say it, I can hear.
There is nothing that can happen to you that can't also happen for you if you let it.
Okay, so for example, so how you felt that moment that that person said you don't have financial aid, like it took you back, and you're like, why is this happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't looking at it as that happened for me, so that I could
yeah.
be. Do you get what I
Yep.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
So that I could be where I'm at now. Now I'm motivated to go to school. Now I
Girl.
want to get my degree
Yes.
and whatever it is that you wanted. But if you were to have done it then,
Who
it
knows
wouldn't
where I
have
would have been?
happened
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. Like you said, you would have flunked out. Like I just and that
And-
just applies to everything that's ever not happened the way you wanted it to
Yeah.
in your life. Like I just be thinking about like my health problems. Like seriously, when I was younger and I lived in the hospital, I used to think that all the time. Why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do? Like, what karma am I
Yeah,
paying for
right.
right now? Like, I would always think that, but it has seriously made me, I feel like I'm the most resilient person I know. Like, for real. Like, I don't know anybody.
Take pride in
who's-
that.
I do. I really do. That's why, girl, I got it tattooed on me.
Mm-hmm.
I literally was like, I am different. I've had fucking a heart attack. I've had I've been in hospitals for months at a time, like in ICU. Like I've had an aneurysm in my brain. Like there's just so much that I've had happen to me that I'm like, there is nothing. Like when I'm feeling hopeless and I'm feeling like depressed and I feel like I do not want to live anymore, I literally think, bro, there has been so much worse shit that's happened to you. Why is this one little thing making you feel like you just can't live? You know?
Life isn't meant to be lived perfectly, but merely lived boldly, wildly, beautifully, uncertainly, imperfectly, magically lived. So
All the ugly that
all
you
the
have
ugly.
to go through. All of the great things you've accomplished, all of everything that you have been through makes why your life is just,
it's beautiful.
yeah.
Even though it doesn't feel beautiful sometimes, but
But if you look back, if you really sit down and look back at it,
Right.
you're like, wow, it makes you feel beautiful, like as a person. Like I grew from that, or I overcame that, or
Right.
I accomplished that.
I just can't wait to see where you're at next year, Maris.
Oh, me too.
Maris.
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 I can't either.
It's going to be really exciting.
I know, because I'm actually like looking back, like it just literally a year ago when I had my baby, I was so unaware of myself,
Right.
of just everything. Like I was not right in the head at all. And I try to say that to people so that they understand, like, if you knew me back then, you really just were putting up with a version of me that
Right.
I don't even recognize her anymore. And
Oh,
I wouldn't
yes.
even put up with half the shit that I put up with back then.
Right.
Now.
Right.
Just because I'm not saying I'm super confident or anything.
Yeah.
I'm saying I know my worth now.
Right.
Like I can tell you, like if I am you just gotta know, like, I don't know. It's so weird.
No,
This whole process is just so weird.
I love that you said that back then you put up with a version of me that you don't recognize anymore, because I was just thinking about it this morning. And I'm going to go into this forever. For whoever is listening to this, know that my life has not been sweet. I've not always been sweet. I've not always had the best intentions. So I want to go, you've obviously heard my story of when I said I was pregnant with my twins. I wasn't with their dad for the whole pregnancy, but I did meet somebody very special. And we were in a relationship while I was pregnant with my twins. That's how deep our connection was. So I don't know if you guys remember me saying that when I got to the hospital, I was, I got back with their dad just to kind of give the girls that chance to have a family. And of course, I want to fix relationships. I'm always trying to be, look for the best in people, right? So go back to when I was pregnant and in this relationship, he was very good to me. But I was just so mentally messed up with all the insecurities in that past relationship and I took that out on him. And it was just a very, I think, mentally abusive relationship where I gave him the worst version of me. And I made a decision, an unconscious decision, because we weren't talking when I delivered, but he texted me and he was like, hey, can I come meet the girls? He was with me for like 3-4 months. He named Marissa Bell.
Oh my fuck.
I know. And I'm being as open as possible.
Yeah, I feel that.
He was a big part of that whole process. He helped me get through a lot of that. So he named Marissa Bell and he was like, can I meet the girls? And I'm scared because their dad has been in the hospital with me this whole time. How messed up is that? He wasn't with me my whole pregnancy, but I allowed him to stay in the hospital with me that whole week. Do you see what I'm talking about? Yep. The version of me that
I just love you. I want you to know that. I
needed that. I'm shaking right now.
No, seriously. I feel your energy like radiating off of you. I know how hard that is to even I'm about to start crying.
No, for real.
I'm serious because it's so ugly to look back at whenever you think about who
7 years,
some of the things that you did in the past, and you're just like, why would I even do that? Like, why did I not care enough about this person and about myself? Like, I stooped down to be back with him because I wanted to save that family, that relationship so bad. Like, I wanted these girls to be able to be with their dad and like their dad, so bad. And it's just like, you didn't even have to do all that. And he proved it to you after the fact. Mm-hmm. Like, you're like, why did I waste that time and energy? Why did I disrespect that other person who wanted it so bad with me?
And that was obviously a situation some couldn't believe that he was in. He was just, even people were telling him, like, what are you doing?
Oh, that just makes me sick.
You're with a whole girl until she's 9 months pregnant. Like,
and then
those are not even your children. Yeah. Like, he was at my baby shower. Like,
I'm finna cry, girl.
And I feel bad because, first of all, he's married now. And it's just like, I wish that I could tell him I'm sorry.
And thank you.
Oh
my God.
And wherever he goes in life.
You know something? You still can. You don't have to make it anything.
I'm telling you now.
Watch this video. We're tagging you in it.
I'm sorry that wasn't the best version of myself, but just know that I have learned from my mistakes and I apologize for being that person, but I've grown and I know you would be proud of me that I'm happy with my children. I have grown and I am at this version of myself that I can tell you that I wasn't aware of what I was doing in that problem.
Can I have a hug?
Yeah.
That was so.
See, we just go deeper. We just
I love you for being able to do that.
Yeah.
Though. That's like deep. That's like different. Like you just owned up to something that I'm sure you didn't ever like talk about like, with people, and you just said it on camera. And it's like
I think I told Juan about the whole him naming. I'm so open with Juan, but I don't think I went that deep into it.
I was gonna say it's like okay, it's one thing when you talk about it like. But like you just sat there and you critiqued yourself.
Yeah.
And you
which we have to.
Yeah. But it was like a good thing. Like you owned it.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. You have to own the fucked up shit. And it's hard. And you did it. And you did it in front of people, and it's beautiful, and I'm so proud of you. Like that was a big deal for me. Like I feel so emotional that you just did that.
I love you, and I'm so glad I could share this moment with you because it's trusting our struggle.
No, seriously.
So I'm gonna go. I think I want to end it with this quote because I feel like we've got a lot here, and I know you're excited to go to the next episode.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna end it with: even seasonal situations can bring with them lessons that last a lifetime. If the love doesn't last, it prepares you for the one that will.
Love that. I love that. Wait.
Yeah, keep going.
Before we end, I really love this one. I feel like this one is so relevant to this.
Okay. So sometimes it takes a wrong turn to get you to the right place.
That's so relevant
to
this episode. Like, you really are going to have 1,001 problems in your life, and you're gonna keep hitting them, and you just have to figure out how to get to on the right road.
How to learn from them, how to take the positive out of them. Like,
because
take a positive out of the negative.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a math term or a life term, but take it both ways.
No, seriously though.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a beautiful episode.
It was.
That was really deep, and I love you, and I'm so proud of you.
Love you. So this is the end of our 6th episode, Trust Your Struggle.
You said the 6th episode.
I mean, like peace. You know what I'm saying? If this episode resonated with you in any way, remember to share it with family, friends, or whoever you think needs to hear it. Don't forget to fill out our reflection activity. You will find that at the bottom of the link or on our social media platforms. We will be filling those out ourselves so you can get the kind of ideas that we're trying to do. Please tag us in those posts so we can repost them, but also take in what y'all have to say so we can get personal with you guys as well.
Yes.
Follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Give us some feedback because you guys, we are almost done with this season and we want to know what you want to hear next season, what you guys want our topics to be about. Also, next season includes guests, so I'm kind of excited about that.
I'm excited too, and I hope that we can finish that season before I leave. But if not, we can always do like a Zoom. Like it could be a long distance one. I don't want to stop this just because I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So don't.
Okay. I'll try not to. No, we just got to figure out how to do the Zoom.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah. We will be back with another episode that will open the mind. Peace. We will see you next time.